All right, guys, we are here on a Wednesday morning. And I want to do this full screen thing I didn't do last time. I think that's better. Wednesday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. What the hell happened here? Why is there a white border around my card image box? We have got what happened? Well, somebody had a big play here. We've got a game, SSFA regular season game, third quarter tilt between the Seattle Seahawks, Dennis Crowley's well-known club, 10-0, undefeated. Says he did not see himself going 16-0. I asked him if he sees himself going 6-0 because he's already 10-0. Against Keith Moubray's Washington Redskins, 7-3 stats club for Keith, and he gives Dennis a hard time a lot of times, I feel. So this could be the morning that Dennis' club doesn't get the job done for the first time all year, but most of us know we would never really bet against Dennis. Looks like Washington got the ball first. I'm going to speculate that Dennis won the toss and deferred. I really don't play with animation because it just doesn't work well for me. But I'll give it a shot here again and see what happens. Keith has moved up to the 45. It's the opening possession. We missed the kickoff, and there was a short gain on a flat pass from Phillip Rivers to Chris Carson. Phillip Rivers, the quarterback for the Redskins. He's an off-tackle right to Alvin Kamara, blocking back, +1 or -1, a 1-yard gain. Keith has Andy Yanovich, one of the better blocking backs in the set, and the best run blocker on this offensive line, which I believe is pass block heavy. I played this team last quarter. Keith's got Phillip Rivers quarterback. He's got Alvin Kamara as the lead back, Chris Carson filling in, and right to Alvin Kamara at the defensive end for all fours blocking here. 8 to 12 yards and a first down for Kamara as the Redskins cross midfield and get to the Seattle 42-yard line here on their opening possession. I have added myself to the stream. I have unmuted my mic. I am sharing my screen. I still have absolutely no confidence that I'm doing all this correctly because I'm rusty, and StreamYard I've only used maybe 15 times or so compared to the old YouTube studio. Flat pass left to Alvin Kamara, 1st and 10. Defense guesses correctly, a linebacker there. I haven't called a game in a while, so it'll take me a few minutes to get into it, but I think I'll get back in that bicycle shortly, if you know what I mean. Successful double team by the defense. I missed that. And it's incomplete on the receiver reading thanks to ye old double team. Would have been incomplete, guessed right, but so what? And we have another spectator watching the game. I don't know who it is. I wouldn't want to speculate. I wouldn't mind speculating, but I still don't know who it is. It could be Kurt Retzlaff. He's on Slack. Maybe someone home during, unfortunately, the pandemic situation that we're still dealing with, but may have turned the corner this week. Fatalities in the New York area are finally dipping. Thank God. 2nd and 10 for the Redskins at the Seattle 42. Keith started off 6-1. He's dropped 2 out of 3. And remember, right, Alvin Kamara, defense double team is Janovich. Defensive end -2 or +3. And the 4 cannot make the play. That's Matt Judon, known more for his pass rushing. So Kamara picks up 3, but it sets up 3rd and 7 for Washington at the Seattle 39. Basically, no man's land here. Field goal 2 to 6 and 12 for the 37. So does he play to break containment and set up a 4th and short? Or say, I'm going to take 2 shots at 7 yards. Let's see what happens here. Dump off in effect in this league. DJ Moore, your 3rd receiver. Julio Jones. Kenny Golladay, the starting 2. Not DJ Moore, play David Moore. DJ Moore on my team. Flat pass right to Julio Jones. Successful double team by Dennis on the flat pass, incomplete. So 4th and 7 for the Skins from the Seattle 39. I would wager that Keith will go for it here, because I think the punt is probably going to be a touchback. But he's going to punt it. We'll see if he gets a good punt here. Looking at maybe a 9-11. And 6 is 48 yards. If he gets the right out of bounds, it should be around 38 yards. Could be perfect. But what's going to happen there on the animation? Looks like it's bouncing around the 5. Goes into the end zone to the touchback. He only gained 19 yards of field position there. probably better to go for it, especially with the dump off in play in that situation. You turn the ball over anyway, 19 yards, 39 to the 20. And Keith has a good offense. So, but on the other hand, he gives his defense a chance here. Short pass to Kyle Juszczyk, defender extra short gain. That left outside linebacker's rating is going to be tested here. Not sure who he is. Juszczyk looks wide open on the animation, but somehow can't make the catch. Ryan Kerrigan was nowhere to be seen in the animation, but yet he made the play 4-4. Strat not known for its graphics here. It's a bell and maybe half a whistle. 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks. Short pass, Will Fuller, formed in zone. Fuller defended by a 6. Receiver complete for 15 yards and a first down. Spectator left the game. Doesn't like what he sees. Russell Wilson, the quarterback, of course, for these Seahawks and all Seahawks, if Dennis had his way, and he usually does in terms of acquiring his beloved franchise quarterback. Will Fuller, receiver left. Doug Baldwin right. Short pass, Will Fuller again. Defense calls wrong, guess wrong. 10 is 15 yards for Wilson. As Seattle's up to midfield now, 2 straight receptions for Will Fuller. Frank Gore's the lead back on this Seahawk team. Mike Davis has an excellent card with limited carries, about 12 unfatigued per game, and Dennis uses him very well, I believe, in the second half of games. Linebacker Frank Gore, offensive left guard 5, makes the block. That's Kelechi Osemele. And Dennis goes 4-5. I think I see a 5 at center. Max Unger, yes, 4-5-5, 4-6. 0 to then 6 blocking back, so some pretty good blocking there. And we're left to Frank Gore, gets wrong. Short gain for 12 yards and a first down. Frank Gore, the initial franchise pick for the Seattle Seahawks way back in, was it 2006? And Dennis has just putting up some career stats, and Gore's been a great player for him for that entire time. And he had a couple of bad games recently, but he's bouncing back here today, it looks like. Linebacker Frank Gore in short yardage. Left tackle -1 and +4. Gerald McCoy 5 could not make the play. There's an injury. Middle linebacker 6. Joe Schobert will be out for the rest of the half. So that's going to hurt the Redskins. They go 6'5", 6'6". 6'5", 6'5", rather. On the defensive line normally with good pass rush. Normally 2 linebacker 6s against the pass, but now that's been taken away, and this will help Dennis. Everyone left to Frank Gore from Washington 28. 11 on Gore's card is 6 yards and a first down. Dennis got the block back 6. He was attacking on the end run with Gore. You got the short gains at 6 and 7. Dennis likes a little short card with the short gain there. Who doesn't? But he will attack that comment. Not as worried about the right call and the big minus. Flat pass right to Eric Ebron, gets right rather for 7 yards. And Dennis had made his way down to the Redskin 15. Piece of cake, no problem. A couple early completions from Russell, some running from Frank Gore. And that's how the Seahawks do it. Looking best, Eric Ebron. Short yardage are called. Short gain on the defense with no one there. 14 yards down to the 1-yard line. Ebron brought down just short of the end zone. It'll be 1st and goal. Full house formation for Seattle, as is traditional in Strat down here near the goal line. Malcolm Brown looks like the I played both these teams, actually. Malcolm Brown is the extra running back. Linebacker to Gore up the middle, touchdown from 1 yard out. Gore goes 5 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown to cap off the Seahawks opening drive. And they lead 6-0. Let's make it 7. Only 2 to 10 and 12. Okay. I thought it was 2 to 9, but the 10 is shifted over there because of the extra digit. 7-0. Dennis with a quick kickoff. Is that 1 to dither? Dithering? Is that what you do when you pause? Kick is down to the 1. Opponent kick return is 23 yards on the defensive special team column, if you know what I mean. Oh, Jay Villian and Kurt, both in the audience. Do me a favor, guys. You can hear me and you can see everything normally, right? Just slack me and let me know that that's the case. Until, of course, I took that play off there. We had, it looks like an end run for Kamara for 12 yards and a first down. It was indeed an end run. And Washington's got a first and 10, their own 36. Moved the ball well. Their first drive got it to the Seattle 39. It faced a 3rd and 7. Short pass, Kenny Golladay, correct double team from Eric Harris. A couple of blitzes in effect as well. A lot of 7s to the offensive line. But Rivers is going to go down. And down goes Rivers. Danico Autry with the sack. I'm not sure what his rating is. He's pretty good this year. Is he an 11 perhaps? That was a 7 on a 15, 1 of 55 sack. Kurt Resler for the good feedback. Tell me that I can be heard. Thank you very much. And it's a big 2nd and 18. That's actually huge. I'm rethinking of so many things in Strat-O-Matic in the last 6 months as a result of my own failures and the success of others. So you can see some changes in strategy and philosophy coming out of my Jets and SOMIFA and SSFA. And that's what Jay says is always important, Tom. Talk about the Jets. That's all people want to hear. Right, Jay? 2nd 18, just teasing. 2nd 18 for Washington. They do a draw play to Kamara against a converted defense, which goes nickel 3-3-5 from its base 3. I think that is the base 4-3 here. But it's only 5 yards on the 7. The linebacker was behind it. If I am understanding correctly, I think that is base 4-3. 3rd and 13 now for the Skins at their own 33. Can Keith get a huge conversion here? You got to play aggressively on defense in these leagues. One pass Jordan Reed. There's no one there because he's double teaming elsewhere. Although Reed's double teamed by Bobby Wagner. And there comes the blitz off the side. Another sack of Rivers. And it was Jonathan Joseph. 7 out of 10 again. Only a 1-18 sack. But it came through on the 13. That was Danico Autry at nose tackle. In the 3-3-5. And watching now is the punt from their own 24. It's a 46-yard punt. It's going to be returned down around the 30, but it looks like no one's returning it. And they're taking a big Washington bounce down inside the 20. 46-yard punt, 11-yard bounce, 57-yard total. And Dennis turns around looking past to Frank Gore, not wasting any time. He's ready to – he's up 7-0. He's got a couple of sacks. He had a good opening drive. Keith punted from the Seattle 39. Dennis says, let's keep the pedal to the metal. Looking past to Frank Gore again, 2 plays in a row. Nothing wrong with that. People sometimes think you just did that play. You're not going to do it again. Ship pass to the same receiver. Like a running play, you only have one running back in there. You're going to run them twice in a row, of course. Certain times. 3rd and 4 for Seattle at their own 25. 2:06 to go in the first quarter. They lead 7-0. Big potential stop here for Keith. He calls run, but he gets wrong. Short pass Doug Warren. Receiver gets wrong. Incomplete on a 7. He's not 7 only anymore. The Angry Bird, who's now retired, or Angry Doug, whatever the heck his nickname was. So just like that, Dennis had the momentum, 3rd and 4. Guess wrong, called the short pass incomplete, defended by a 4. And Keith gets a big stop to try and turn the momentum around in this game, which has been all Seattle's way early. 47-yard punt, down to the 25. And Jakeem Grant calls a fair catch. I have him in another league in 8 games. He's averaging 5.6 yards a return. I cannot hit that 3 touchdown. So hoping maybe I could see Keith get it. I can enjoy it in some fashion. Off tackle left to Kamara. Keith said his own 28 near the end of the first quarter here. Off tackle right, rather. Defense double teaming. Offensive on to them, +7 and +2. That guy's only a 4. Jordan Reed, who I traded to Keith this offseason. See the run blocking here. Only 4s on the right side. Around the end, you're going to get the benefit of the 6 on the blocking back. Left side, the offensive tackle 5, blocking back 6. Might be a better way to go there. One pass Alvin Kamara. Defense double teaming Julio Jones. Kamara's covered by a 4. White die 5 and 6. Very dangerous here for the defense. And there's a dump off receiver incomplete to Andy Janovich. As Rivers is off to a cold start. 1 of 4 for 15 yards for Phillip. And he's been sacked twice. Danico Autry is a 0-9 here, it looks like. One pass Kenny Galladay on 3rd and 9. Single coverage, free safety 4 back there. He's covered by 5, so he's just in danger here. Picked off 2 to 5, 11 to 12, incomplete. And it'll be another punt. The 3rd straight one for these Redskins. As Dennis Crowley looks to go 11-0. He's got NFL Ed waiting in the wings here in quarter 3 of the SSFA season. A 50-yard punt from Ryan Allen. That'll be down around the 20. Both of these coaches play quickly, so if you're having a snack, this game might be over by the end of your snack. Fair catch called by Dwayne Harris, the veteran return man. And Dennis takes over as we start the second quarter from his own 20, leading 7-0. Flat pass right, Khalil Juszczyk. Defense guesses incorrectly. Receiver guessed wrong. 10 is 12 yards and a first down for Kyle, the best fullback in the NFL. And that gives you 1st and 10 for Seattle at their own 32. Looking past Eric Ebron, picking on that 0 backup. Receiver guessed right, +11. And you have that now sprinkled in. Now, Ebron doesn't have that type of tight end call with tremendous yardage guessed right. That looks pretty good. But it's not all like +10, 11, 12, like O.J. Howard or George Kittle probably has. But so even some outside receivers now, you see everyone left guess of the short yardage defense. -1. Keith's secondary is not great. Short yardage, you're taking a chance to give up the long pass attempt. But Dennis will throw his occasional bomb. He's not shy about doing that. He mixes it all up. That's how you got to do it. 2nd 11, flat pass right to Judge. Defense calls run. Receiver gets wrong +11. First down. See, it's hard. You want to call run. You want to respect the run. But sometimes you're trying to stop it. You can do it a little too much. And I think that's what we might be seeing from Keith here. Dennis definitely has him off balance, making the right play call at the right time. Short pass, Will Fuller. Defense calls pass. 3 men there. Dump off complete for 6 yards to Kyle Juszczyk, who's ubiquitous. That means he's everywhere at once. Now, what am I explaining? I'm mansplaining. We're all men. Can you mansplain to another man? I don't know, but I'm explaining when I shouldn't, perhaps. 2nd and 4 for Seattle at the Washington 41. Short pass, Will Fuller, short yardage again. 3 men there. Receiver gets run 20 yards. And the first down. Dennis has been throwing a pass, I think, virtually every play this possession. And Keith has been calling run more often than not. And when that happens, you'll soon find yourself defending your red zone. Seattle 1st and 10 at the Washington 21. Wilson now 10 of 13 at $1.17. And on the left to Gore, guessed incorrectly. Offensive onside tackle 5-0, but Cordy Glenn not up to the task. He's only a 4, and the white die was a 5. So no gain as the Redskins get a temporary reprieve. Let's see if it continues. Defense shows blitz. He's got the pass rush, and Dennis did not have great pass blocking on this team. I believe, if I recall correctly, someone in the studio audience could perhaps bring that up and double check it and slack me. Something along the lines of, 4-5-7-3-5 or whatever the heck it is. But that was an end run to Frank Gore incorrectly, and Kelechi Osemele, who was a 5, could not make the block. So that's only gains 3 yards on his 2 guest wrong calls there. 3rd and 7, defense showing blitz out to Washington 18. Trip Doug Wald, the blitz was only shown. They hit the sniper scope, touchdown. He showed the blitz but didn't bring the blitz. The safety out of position, Doug Baldwin splitting the defense into the end zone. Ryan Kerrigan goes out for the half as the linebacker core is decimated here for the Redskins, but only until halftime, and they trail 14-0. And the kick goes down to the 1. It's a big 35-yard return by Jakeem Grant. So Washington will start out with a good field position. And I suspect the animation takes so long on this kickoff that we'll probably go out of sync or lose a play or something of that nature. But maybe not. Okay, we're going 3 wide, 1 halfback here. And it's a linebacker to Kamara gets wrong. 5 yards. Sets up 2nd and 5. Keith seems like he might be going hurry up with the play calling. No. Dennis is a default 4-3 with, of course, probably Wagner in the middle. The big offseason pickup from this very Washington team, I think. It's pretty much a trio of aging 5s. Short pass to Jordan Reed. Defensive double teaming elsewhere. Reed covered by a 4. That's complete for 11 yards in the first down as the Redskins quickly cross midfield. Behind a good kick return and 1 first down. That'll do it when you get a nice kick return. Kick returning not as important now, though, with so many kicks so deep into the end zone. Punt returning maybe more valuable. Short pass to Julio Jones, covered by a 5. Defense double teaming Kamara. Dump off for 7 yards. So Washington quickly down to the Seattle 41. But they want to get points. They can't just get yardage. 2nd and 3, 7:48 to go, middle of the second quarter. Pretty easy to call a game with these guys in terms of not exactly running a day. This could be like under a 1 minute game, 1 hour game. Short pass Julio Jones, run key Chris Carson. The kid that likes to see a receiver reading. And there's receiver gets wrong 13 yards in the first down. Julio not quite as big of an average as I thought. I thought you'd have a little more 15, 16, 17 here, even though he was on my SOMIFA team. He only had like 40-something catches, but he kept getting double teamed, and I still couldn't run the offense elsewhere. What a terrible job I did with that team. 1st and 10 for Washington at the Seattle 28. Short pass Julio and defense double teaming Kenny Galladay. And 5 is incomplete on Phillip Rivers. 2nd down and 10. Yeah, this offensive line for Keith is all 7s, except the left guard 5, and he's already been sacked twice. 2nd down and 10. Chris Carson in there. Sparingly used in the first half of the season. Flat pass left to Carson. Defense double teaming Jordan Reed. Linebacker 4 is there. It's complete for 5 yards. Bobby Wagner's been stationary a lot here for Dennis. But Dennis That's one thing with Dennis. He plays in so many leagues, plays so many games, and of course he's so sharp. Like, he really knows the way that a lot of these guys play. And a lot of us in SSFA have been in this league a long time now, and I think we're kind of used to how each other play. I feel like I know how Keith plays, and I think this is the only league I really play in with him. Sometimes Battle Royale or Summer Sprint, he shows up. 3rd and 5, linebacker draw to Alvin Kamara. Nose tackles is 0, but it's from the 3 wide. Offensive right guard 7 or 2. Kevin Zeitler is nursed down to a 0, so he's not going to make that block, particularly on a white die 5. Keith gains 2 yards, and now he's going to go for it. 4th and 3 from the Seattle 21. Keith is fairly aggressive. He says 14-3 sounds like a losing score to me. And I think Dennis gets the ball to start the second half. So he's going to go for it in 4th and 3. 3 wide, 1 halfback. I don't like the formation choice here. Especially look at this linebacker 6 here. And what are you going to do? You're going to bring the safety up to flood. You know, he's not that worried about the bomb here. If you throw it, so be it, I think Dennis will say. Maybe not. Dennis always tough to know what Dennis can do. It's why he's so successful. Flat pass left. David Moore did not flood the flat. He double teamed elsewhere. There's only a 4 defender there, the linebacker, and 5 is complete for 7 yards and a first down on Rivers' card. So Keith is rewarded for going big, as Dennis likes to say. And now the Redskins are down to Seattle 14 with a chance to get in the end zone and make this a 14-7 game, make it much more competitive. Let's see if he can do it. Aaron right to Kamara. Nobody there. Defense calls pass. 8 is 12 yards and a first down for the Skins. Down at the 2-yard line. First and goal from the 2. Kamara 10 carries, 61 yards. Chris Carson checks in the full house. It's actually the full house double tight end. So Jeff Swain, your number 2 tight end. Bobby Wagner is a true 6, plug in the middle. But Keith goes 5-6-5 the blocking. Short pitch Jordan Reed, run key elsewhere. Reed covered by a 4. Defender X or a touchdown. That is incomplete. Deron Harmon, the veteran Patriot, makes the play. 4 on a 4. Well, they get first and goal for the 2, even though I know he's got the middle linebacker 6 up there, but you go 5-6-5 interior line. You got to block him like 6. Maybe just run a few linebucks and see what happens. Emran right to Kamara. Defense gets the pass, but there's a linebacker there. My card, your card, my card, touchdown on Alvin Kamara's card. 7, a short gain, 2-yard TD run, 11 carries, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Extra point from, is it Kaimi? I forget this guy's name again. Yeah, Kaimi Fairbairn is up and good, 2 to 10 and 12 for both of these kickers. And Washington cuts the lead in half for the gutsy decision to go for 4th and 3 from the Seattle 21, trailing 14-0. And now it's 14-7. And this says, damn, I thought I might have had an easy one here. Tough to deflate Dennis too much early in the game, though. The kick is down to the goal line. That takes it out. 27-yard return by DJ Chark. Dennis was, I think, very fortunate that Chark was on the board and able to draft him late second round after the year he had in the NFL this year and the type of deep threat that Dennis likes to have. And he'll enjoy that card in the future. You're hearing Russell Wilson to DJ Chark with some of these broadcasts. And on the left, Frank Gore, 8 plus 12. I mean, boy, the percentage of time, it's tough when you're playing a good coach, but the percentage of the time that Keith has been guessed wrong on defense here has been high. I would say the last couple of possessions particularly. He's calling run, but Dennis is throwing it. He's calling pass, but Dennis is running it. There you go again. Flat pass right to Eric Ebron. Guessed wrong. Receiver guessed wrong. 7 is 9 yards. And Bradley Roby is out for the game. The corner 5 replaced by a 0. You got 3 zeros in there now for injury. 2 of those guys, the linebackers, Kerrigan and Schobert, will be back for the second half. That's the word we get from the locker room. But right now we got Anthony Brown playing left corner. He looks like he's a nickel 4. Dennis says these injuries are silly. I lost 6 guys, I think, in my last game. And really, they haven't been that bad. I haven't noticed them much this whole year for my team. I guess I got hit with a bunch of them in one game. I don't know. It's not, I guess, a bad way. And I won the game, so it didn't work out too badly, I guess. But 4 of them were starters. 3 of them is like the whole game. Neil Hunter got injured like the very first play of the game. I was counting on him. Second and 1, linebacker Frank Gore. Defense calls pass. Again, guessed wrong. 5 yards in the first down. Gore 10 for 48. Frank the Tank's got 7 unfatigued. There's a third back probably looming somewhere on the Seahawk roster. Hopefully not Tariq Cohen. Could be Tariq Cohen. 1st and 10 for Seattle. 2:06 to go. Looking back, there's a play guessed correctly. Keith calls pass, but double teams elsewhere. Receiver gets right for 6 yards. Dennis down to Washington 41 here at the 2-minute warning. Those of you who play SOMIFA who enjoy my draft prognostications may be happy to know that my draft prep is in full swing, folks. Full swing. Looking best, Kyle Juszczyk against that short yardage at 2nd and 4. It's a short gain. Not a big fan of the short yardage in these modern leagues. They're really stopping the flat pass with your 3 guys coming up there. I know you want to get the extra guys against the run, but I don't know. White die 6, those guys disappear anyway. I don't like giving the defense long pass, no man wrong, even though the running game and the flat pass is so important. It's so difficult to stop sometimes in these modern leagues. Linebacker Franco, 1:37 to go. Defense goes incorrectly. Right guard 7-2, but Michael Schofield, 4-4, makes the play, giving us a 2nd down and 3 for the Seahawks. As I mess up something here. Corbin low and carries. You got Michael Davis for the second half. I got to see who else is there. I got to look at his roster. That's why I'm going over to league manager. Linebacker Gore, defense close pass again. 4 is 7 yards. I think we had one guest right play just to mix it up. And it's just been wrong every single time. 7-yard run for Gore up the middle, first down. And Washington calls timeout from their 15. Seattle's at the Washington 15, 1:07 to go. Always interesting choice when to use these defensive timeouts near the end of the half. Keith is showing blitz, and he's got pass rush. Linebacker Frank Gore, there's nobody there at all, including the boxes in play. Gore settles for a 5-yard gain. He's getting older. Dennis does have 3 sevens on this team. I don't know what team I was thinking of with his. He likes to get that pass blocking. 2nd and 5 for Seattle at the Washington 10. Linebacker Frank Gore, there's a short yardage guess correctly. Only 1 yard that time for Frank. And it sets up a big 3rd and 4 from the 9-yard line for Seattle. Washington uses their last timeout. 52 seconds to go. This is a big play here. I mean, Dennis will be fine at 17-7, but boy, 21-7 and receiving the kick with Mike Davis coming off the bench and the way he's running the offense right now, that would be really tough for Washington, although they do get a lot healthier in the second half with Joe Sherman and Ryan Kerrigan coming back. Bradley Roby's out for the duration, but was he only a 4? I think he's only a 4 anyway. The left corner is now a 0, so. And he was starting the game with 5-5-5-4, so I guess Roby's only a 4. Short pass, Malcolm Brown, defense calls run. 3rd and 4, gets early, dreaded 5 in the receiving game. Incomplete on Russell Wilson's card, short pass wrong. And Dennis will settle for the field goal here with Harrison Butker, one of the better kickers to come out in recent years. Dennis did a good job grabbing him in the draft. Kick is up and good. 26-yarder, makes it 17-7. Now Seattle will kick off to the dangerous Jakeem Grant. Let's see which way Dennis goes with this. He kicks it away, as they say, or kicks it deep, but only down to the 3-yard line, and Grant returned it 32 yards up to the 35. I think we'll only get one tick on this on the kick. One tick on the kick. Yes, so 30 seconds remaining in the first half. It might be one tick on the kick, guys. Certainly for a kickoff, I'm not certain. I have not pushed a timer on the board in many, many years. Jay Villing still plays some dicing cards, as they say, in the Brammer tournaments. So he would know better than me. Flat pass right to Julio Jones. Defense calls pass. They got a linebacker there. It's a 5-yard completion. White die 4 looks like we do have, and that was on the previous play. So unless it was a white die 2, Julio did not get a bounce. White die 2, he does get a bounce. 2nd and 5. You know, I was repressing a sneeze. You never broadcast a sneeze on TV. I just thought of that. That's weird. Can you not sneeze if you're talking nonstop? I don't know. 2nd and 5 for Washington at their own 40. Flat pass left to Kenny Galladay. Nobody there. 12, complete for 30 yards. And that'll get him into field goal range. Can Galladay get out of bounds on a 4 or a 6? Does one white die 5. He's heading for the sideline. Or can he spike the ball? It was a white die 5. So he got out of so he did not get out of bounds. But it looks like he was able to spike the ball or something, because we're seeing an attempt here for a 47-yard kick. They'll make only 17-10. This is a big turnaround. You know, Sony only down by 1 score after the way that most of the first half has gone. And Dennis was just knocking the doorstep moments earlier. So the field goal is up and good, 2-8, 11, and 12. And Keith has to feel pretty good about being down only 17-10. And his decision to use those defensive timeouts paid dividends. Dennis is going to get the ball to start the second half here. Still leads 17-10. 254 points scored in 9 games on my file here. Is it Jeff Wilson? Is the only Malcolm Brown? That's right. Malcolm Brown's your third running back. He only had 43 carries, though, so he has limited usage. Jeff Wilson is the guy that gets Dennis over the hump at 66 4.0. Kind of okay if you're going to call wrong, if you're not going to respect him. I think his fumble number is a little higher than you'd like. All right, 37 minutes and a half, actually 32 minutes, as these men good-naturedly waited 5 minutes for me to show up before starting. Jay has left us. But Kurt's still here. What's your record, Kurt? Slack me your record for that Arizona team. Well, Frank was still in there. Flat pass right to Eric Ebron. Defense double teaming elsewhere, but Joe Schobert slid over. And receiver gets right, incomplete. 6-3 for the Cardinals. You're in good company. My Jets are 6-3. So not 1-3. I won 5 straight. It's not a bad way to get to 6-3. I got some big games coming up. Hopefully playing later today against Detroit. And I got a couple of real big ones against, well, I got Paul. And then Jay. Short pass, Will Fuller. Defense against is wrong. Intercepted 2-4 or complete. And it's complete on a 9 for 12 yards and a first down. So Fuller, who had a couple of big catches earlier in the game. That's his 4th catch for 62 yards now. He had the 20-yarder on a short pass wrong receiver. 1st and 10 for Seattle at their own 45. Then it's just so tough to stop. Short pass, Will Fuller. Foreman in the zone. This one's guessed correctly. Dump off complete for 4 yards to Mike Davis. That was a 7 on an 8. Michael Bennett couldn't get past Cordy Glenn. And the Seahawks are at their own 49. Opening possession of the second half here. Seattle leads 17-10. They're 10-0. Trying to get to 11, and then they got to play Ed. Flat pass right to Eric Ebron. 2 men in the zone, complete for 1 yard on a 4. That was a white die 6, so great play by Keith to flood, or there would have been an 8-yard completion and a first down. 3rd and 5 for the Hawks at the 50. Big play here. And this is where Dennis likes to go for it. So if he doesn't make this play, you very well might see him go for it. Keith going 4-3 blitz. He's got the 2 linebacker 6s. Makes the flat pass less desirable. With the downfield stuff, the dump offs to play. Long pass to Doug Boulder, covered by 0. No one there, and the safety blitz in effect. He wants the defense's card, 4, 5, or 6. It's a dump ball for a short gain of 15 yards to the first down. He'll take it. Looks like Mike Davis making his way down to the 35. Yes, and it was a D with a 5. Keith has shown the safety blitz a couple times, has not brought it. Off tackle right to Mike Davis. Team calls run. Offensive outside guard. That time Michael Schofield couldn't make the block. Showing a little bit more of his true colors there. White die 5 versus the 4. Second down and 10. Second down and 10. Off tackle left to Davis. Another good guess correct call by Keith. Offensive line to tackle 8 or 3, though. 4 on a 4. Cody Glenn makes the block. Cody Glenn makes the block. Sets up a 3rd and 2. I'll tell you, those 4 on a 4s. So big in this game, you know. The defender X's, the linebackers in zone. Play like that, 8 or 3 on a 2nd and 10. That always points that out. 3rd and 2 for Seattle. At the Washington 27. They're up by a touchdown, looking for more. Like to keep it a 2-score game, certainly. Dennis always thinking touchdown. Mike Davis guessed correctly. 8 is 4 yards on a 1st down. One thing about Joe Sherbert, he's the middle. Joe Schobert, not Sherbert. Joe Schobert, he's the middle linebacker 6 against the pass, but he might be is he a 0 or a 4 against the run. He has a 0 against the run, so even if he plugs up in there, you know, you're not losing too much on some of these numbers. Flat pass right to Kaldrich gets incorrectly. Receiver 10 is complete for 12 yards on a 1st down. Dennis definitely throws those flat passes to his backs a fair amount. In a lot of ways, it's a very conventional approach, you know. He's running the ball, he's throwing flat passes to his backs, he's throwing short and long to his receivers. Looking best, Kaldrich, receiver gets right for 7 yards. But it's mixing it up, and it's not having a feel for the opponent and knowing what to call at the right time. These are the types of things that separate Mr. Crowley from many of us in the online community. 2nd and 3 for Seattle at the Washington 4. For his backfield, Malcolm Brown's the 3rd running back. I'm predicting a run with Malcolm Brown here up the middle against Joe Raspberry Schobert. Linebacker Malcolm Brown, defense calls run. 6 is 3 yards, 1st down. At the 1, Malcolm Brown is out for the game, and that's going to hurt Dennis because he's running out of carries with the other guys. Jeff Wilson going to be making an entry here soon. 1st and goal for Seattle at the 1. Mike Davis and Frank Gore in the now. Dennis says, I'm not going to mess around with Jeff Wilson when I need a touchdown. Linebacker Frank Gore, defense ranking elsewhere. Touchdown for Gore, his 2nd of the day. 15 for 69 for the veteran. And the Seahawks take a commanding 23-10 lead. And they further that command into 24-10 with an extra point. And the kickoff from Bucker this time goes deep into the end zone, where presumably Jakeem Grant will not take it out, but you never know. He takes it out, 32. Keith is one of those guys, you know. Well, I say, look, I need a touchdown or something here. My guy is good anyway, so I'm decent chance. I'm only a little bit short of the 25. And that's what happened. He got a 32-yard return out to the 23. That's 7, though. Or 12 would have been deadly, or 11. So had some chances for some tragedy there. It's a long pass to Julio Jones. Defense calls pass incomplete. Keith can start to bomb away a little bit when he gets down here late in the game. It's only mid-3rd quarter. I have noticed a tendency that he does get a little like, screw it, I'm just going to throw some bombs. If I hit him, I'll get back into it. 3 wide with a halfback. Just not in love with this formation for this team. Flat pass left to Kenny Galladay, throwing at the linebacker 4. Defender +2 or +8. He's coming by 5. The slow-moving animation. I have it on the maximum speed, and it's a white die 6 against Jonathan Joseph, the veteran. So it's an 8-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 2 for Washington. Don't go 3 wide here, please. Thank you. Walking back 1 halfback for Kamara. My newfound love of the running game in the modern game. I run the ball in the other leagues, or the non-dump off leagues, but I'm embracing my inner Zeb now. We'll see. 3rd and 2, line up to Alvin Kamara. Defense calls run, but no one's there. Box is even in play. Defense's card is good here. There's the double box. 17 yards and a 1st down for Alvin Kamara. Bobby Wagner was in the defensive left tackle zone. The defensive left tackle zone looking for the off tackle. And Kamara takes advantage. Would have been a 1st down anyway, even if Wagner was successfully plugging the linebacker. Would have been 4 yards. But Washington's now up at their own 48. And look, they're down 24-10. So you're down this much, down 2 touchdowns. It's always the same thing. End run right to Kamara. Nobody there. defensive end +1 or +5. It's only 1 yard. Derek Wolf, 5 and a 5, makes the play. But you're down 2 scores. It's always the same thing. What do you need? You need a score and a stop. You need a score and a stop. That's what you need. Particularly if you get a touchdown. 24-13 doesn't sound too exciting. So Keith's going to definitely be looking for the end zone as he starts getting closer. He's not going to be thinking about a field goal. Short pass, David Moore, covered by a 4-man in the zone. He went 3 wide again, a 2nd and 9. Receiver gets right, incomplete, and that's not a fan of it in this situation. You got 5s covering your best receivers. I know you got 4s covering David Moore, Jordan Reed, and Kamara. Julio's coming at 5. That's not too bad. So you got the 6th middle linebacker. And you know, you might have some success running it here. Linebacker draw to Alvin Kamara. Defensive tackle -1 and +9. 9 yards against the nose tackle 0. I mean, if you're going to run it here, I guess, against the nose tackle 0, that could work. I just think that if he stays base offense, he's got a better chance. He'd move the ball pretty well, base offense, during this game. Get Chris Carson in there a little bit. You don't want to exhaust Kamara. Flat pass left to Andy Janovich. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Throwing at that linebacker 4. Receiver gets right, -1 on the 11. At 3 and 11, those numbers are generally going to produce a loss of yardage when you throw to a running back, as we all know. Now you've got 2nd down and 11 for Washington at the Seattle 43. He goes 3 wide again. He's staying with it. Give him credit for that. Free City Blitz. Long pass, Julio Jones. The Free City Blitz is on. Nobody back there. Julio comes at 5. And it's a dump off for a short gain in 10 yards, just short of a 1st down. Jordan Reed brought down right before the imaginary yellow line. That was Kelvin Beachum, the 7 left tackle, the right tackle, picking up Matt Judon on the 8. It was a 1-21 sack. Dennis was not going to rest on his laurels on 2nd and 11, up 24-10. He brought the Free City Blitz plus 1 or 2 linebackers, it looked like. We have a 3rd one now. Chris Carson checks in. He's not the great guess right, though. The Kamara's better in these situations, and he's a better receiver. So I'm not with that there with McCaffrey. He's got the good guess right, the good receiving. That's like a great short yardage guy to have in there. Flat pass right to Kenny Golladay. Linebacker 5 there. Defense double team Chris Carson. Linebacker zone extra short gain. That's going to be incomplete, it looks like. So 4th and 1 for Washington at the Seattle 33. Is certainly going to go for it here. But it's counterintuitive in a way. You would think a bruising back like Carson, you'd rather have him in the short yardage than Kamara, but got to go by the cards. So I'll use Carson a little more on a 1st or 2nd down. I need Kamara in there on 3rd or 4th and 1. Kamara's not in the game, 4th and 1. Carson's not very good, guess right. All right. But both coaches know this. Let's see what happens. Short pass, Julio Jones, defense calls run. 3-man in zone. Can Rivers get the completion he needs to keep the drive alive and keep the team in position? Gets more than that. Long gain on the defense. Touchdown on a short pass 12. Holy mackerel. Phillip Rivers to Julio Jones. 33 yards on 4th and 1. Play action pass. Shades of George Kittle against the Saints in the playoffs last year. And just like that, Keith says, how do you like that, Tom? Chris Carson, the decoy, on 4th and 1. And Dennis is like, damn, now I got to keep coaching. Kid goes 8 yards deep into the end zone. I always keep coaching. What are you talking about? And he does. That's one of the reasons, it's one of the reasons you win. It's not overcoming adversity. It's not even always just when you lose, but it's sometimes even when you're winning and you think you're winning comfortably, the other guy starts coming back. You got to still deal with that adversity. Is everyone left to Russell Wilson? I haven't seen that today. Offensive tackle 5-0. Mike Davis throwing a block there on the animation. 5 yards. Cordy Glenn making his 2nd successful block of the half, I believe, showing a little something today. The veteran getting near the end of his career, possibly. I don't know. He might be one of those guys who hangs around. He seems to like cashing a paycheck. Just the impression I get. 2nd and 5 for Seattle. Left tackle right to Mike Davis. 8 is 10 yards. Haven't seen Davis run much yet. That was only his 4th carry. He's got 10 more unfatigued. We've got 1:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. So that's good for Dennis. He likes to go pistol with Mike Davis in there. Left tackle left to Davis gets wrong, but only 3 yards on the fine card. He's got 5, 11, 15 units of short gain and 2 is plus 20, so 16 units of double-digit gains and plenty of other good stuff. 10 units of 3 or less, though, more than I would have guessed. 2nd and 7 for Seattle. That's on the off tackle, wrong. And the pistol. Muscle in the backfield with Mike Davis and Kyle Juszczyk. Short pass Eric Ebron against the short yardage. Receiver gets wrong, 13 yards in the first down. And just like that, Seattle right across midfield. Well, Julio Jones can get as many long gains as he wants, but if this Washington defense can't stop Seattle, it's not going to matter. Seattle just moving up and down the field all game. Flat pass right to Kyle Juszczyk. Guessed wrong against another short yardage look. That's complete, but for only 4 yards. I mean, it's not a lot of that. Hasn't been big plays. It's been consistent yardage. Seattle's got 328 yards of offense here, and we are just starting the 4th quarter. Here's a short pass guessed correctly to Kyle Juszczyk. It's incomplete on Russell's card. And just like that, after everything we said, 3rd and 6 for Seattle. At the Washington 40, though, Dennis will go for it here, I believe, if he does not convert. He may even set that up by running it here on 3rd down. There's an off tackle by Davis. Remember, Shobich is 0. Offensive onside tackle, 8 or 3 behind the 6 at right tackle. That's David Bakhtiari. 1st down, Seattle. You knew he was going to try and do something there to get at least 2 or 3 yards, break containment, set up a more makeable 4th down opportunity. He chose the run. Keith went for the pass call. Tough to call run in 3rd and 6. We all know that. Those are the 2 linebacker 6s, though. And Bolsa Russell's been killing him with the short pass. Off take a right to Davis. There's a correct short yardage defense call, the second one. A loss of 1. Only seen 1 bomb attempt from Dennis so far. Wouldn't be surprised to see one mixed in somewhere here in the first half of the 4th quarter if this remains a 1-score game. 2nd and 11. Mike Davis still in there. Short pass to Willa. Fuller defense calls run. Foreman in his own, though. But Russell on his card, 7 is 12 yards on a 1st down. Again, Dennis's offensive play calling today, the guess wrong. He's had Keith guessing all game, really. First quarter wasn't too bad, but since then he's had Keith off balance pretty steadily. Sometimes like 90% of the time on one of those drives. Well, I go right to Davis. This is a right call. 4 yards for Davis. There's an injury. Will Fuller is going to go out. Dennis will miss him as Calvin Benjamin, the beefy receiver, checks in. It's not an adjective you like to have ascribed to your receivers. Sleek is the adjective you want for a receiver, not beefy. 2nd and 6 for Seattle. The Washington 17. Looking past the Juszczyk. Defense double teams elsewhere. It's complete for 6 yards at the 1st down on Russell's card. Russell having a very sharp game. Very precise and efficient. 24 of 30. 248, a touchdown, no interceptions. I was running the ball, I think, once for 5 yards. Juszczyk, 9 catches, 76 yards. I feel like he's double-teamed everyone except Kyle Juszczyk. Looking past him, Mike Davis, defense calls run. Linebacker zone incomplete. Joe Raspberry Schobert makes the play with his mighty 6. Only wiped by 4, but still. And we've got a 2nd down and 10. 24-17 game here. So short pass to Benjamin. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 3 men there. Russell Wilson threads the needle on the 3. Right, wrong, and I think double teamed. Indeed. Right, wrong, and double teamed. Touchdown. Russell Wilson to Calvin Benjamin. 30-17 Seattle. Extra points up and good. Dennis says, I don't see this team going 16-0. Well, we are seeing them go 11-0. It looks like right here, unless Keith can come back. Kick goes down to the 1 yard line, 23 yards up to the 24. There is some big play capability with this Washington club. And we've all played enough Strat to know that it's not over when you're down 2 touchdowns with 10:48 to go. But Dennis is playing great. And it's tough. So I was going to say, Keith will come out throwing bombs here because he does when he goes down. And he comes out 3 wide, long pass to David Moore. Dennis left the safety only back there. Intercepted 2 to 5, 11 to 12, incomplete. I don't know. Is it wrong for you to give away these is it like a secret? Is it really a secret? You play it a lot and you notice that he does certain things as a draw to Alvin Kamara. Looking for a nose tackle rating, maybe on a 2. Gets 8 for 2 yards, and Kamara's guard gets wrong. Sets up 3rd and 8. Probably see a short pass. I just know that when Keith goes down in the second half, if he goes down like 2 scores, you're going to see a lot of bombs. Be ready for it. 3rd and 8 for Washington. Keith probably throws a little more bombs than most guys anyway. I'm not that crazy with it, but I know when he goes down in the second half, that it becomes bombs away. 3rd and 8 for Washington at their own 26. Short pass, Kenny Galladay, Foreman in zone. Dennis standing pat with a safety. Reduce the old long gain chance. He's up by 14. Picked off 2 to 5-11 as well. The defense incomplete, but a number of interception splits from Rivers, but they've all been incomplete. They've all been of that sort of that 2 to 5 and 11 to 12 variety. And Keith's going to punt it. 9:36 to go. 44-yard kick. It's going to be returned down around the 30-yard line. I think Dwayne Harris is the one back. Let's see if he gets a chance to return this. Looks like he does. And he calls a fair catch. So Seattle takes over 31-17. They lead at their own 39-18 to go. Basically, off tackle right to Davis. Defensive tackle +5 and +36. He cannot make the tackle. Mike Davis is free in the secondary. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Can he go 36 yards? Yes, he can. I don't know what his longest run was last year, but it was at least 36 yards. A huge run from Mike Davis. Almost puts the cherry on, almost puts the icing on the cake. The cherry on the sundae? Anyway, it was a very impactful and significant run. 8:42 to go. Off tackle right to Davis again. Defensive tackle +1 and +7. Dennis says, I'm not like Tom Cook, sitting there with some wasted carries for Christian McCaffrey and SOMIFA. I'm going to run Mike Davis until he's tired. 4 on fatigue left. It's the 2nd and 9. Dennis scores in this drive. The game is basically over. He hates when you say that early. But I'm sorry, Dennis. It's true. 2nd and 9. Looking back to Juszczyk. It's complete for 10 yards at a first down. Juszczyk's 10th reception of the day. He said single coverage all day long. Maybe one double team, probably not any. 10 catches, 86 yards, covered by a 4. 1st and 10 for Seattle to Washington 23. Off to go right to Davis, gains out of the 3. Now anything can happen here. Russell Wilson snap fumble is 4.8. You could have a fumble or interception or a blocked kick or something like that. But barring one of those 3 things, if that scores here, the game is basically over. Off to go right to Davis. Short gain, 16 yards, all the way down to the 4-yard line. This offense has to be over 400 yards of offense now. You've got a 1st and goal for the Seattle at the Washington 4. Full house backfield. Jeff Wilson checks in. Look for a linebacker for Russell here. Short bets Doug Baldwin. Defense calls run. Angry Dog catches it in the end zone. I think it's his 2nd touchdown of the day. 2 catches, 22 yards, 2 TDs, 37-17. 3 touchdowns for Russell. Kick is up and good. 38-17. And then I said, I don't see the team going 16-0. Can you see them going 5-0? Because you're already 11-0. Can you see them going 5-0, Dennis? That is the question. Let's see who's left in the schedule for Seattle. They go to San Francisco, I guess at 11-0. If I can, I'll call that one. We'll see. Then the 4th quarter plays Pittsburgh. That's Dan Thorauer. Plays Houston, Bradley Miller winning record. Plays Tampa Bay, rebuilding. Plays Green Bay 5-5. So not a lot of challenges left. The San Francisco game and the Houston game are the big challenges for the Seahawks as they try to go 16-0. The first SSFA team since last year when I went 16-0 and lost in the first round to Dennis. That was no fun. 2nd and 10. The 16-0 part was pretty good, but the losing in the first round to Dennis part was not so good. 3rd, losing to anybody in the first round. I can't lose to Dennis. At least he's a great coach. 3rd and 4 for Washington at their own 28. On past David Moore. There's a long gain on Rivers caught an 43-yard completion to the Seattle 29. Too little, too late for Mr. Rivers. Smokey Joe says, I told you he was no good. Residents of the locker room section of the Strat Fan Forum will know what I referenced there, particularly the NFL section. NFL thread. There's no section. The NFL thread of the locker room section of the Strat-O-Matic fan forum. So Washington driving. They're inside the Seattle 20 here. 3:36 to go. They're down 3 touchdowns. 3 wide. Short pass to Julio. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. It's complete for 12 yards on a first down. You'll be down inside the 4 now. 3 minutes to go. Do. 3 wide from the 4-yard line. Maybe figures I'll throw all passes because it's incomplete, it stops the clock. And we're left to come out. There's a guy there, and the white die one is in effect. This could not be good. 7, no gain. And he doesn't get out of bounds. So that play definitely did not go the way Washington would have liked. 2:24 to go. It's going to be 11-0 for the Seahawks. That Ed game is going to be the big game, I think. And Bradley 7-5's got a good team. Tough to see those other fourth quarter teams defeating Seattle. Anything's possible. Dennis has gone undefeated multiple times in various leagues. He had some kind of crazy winning streak in battle in Autumn Wind, I believe, and then maybe also in battle, also in SOMIFA perhaps, and who knows about SFFDL, the relegation, the Trophy Case League for Dennis. 3rd and goal from the 4 for Washington. .206 to go. And 3 is a touchdown. Short pass right from Rivers to David Moore. Makes it 38-23. Extra point will make it 24. If Fairbairn can deliver. Fairbairn. It's up and good. So we'll probably see an onside kick here. Keith trailing by 2 touchdowns, 1:52 to go. He's got all 3 timeouts. 2-3, 11-12. The equivalent of a white die 1 or a white die 6. And it looks like he went for the onside kick, and he got it. Strat didn't show it to me. Okay. Then I said, stop telling me the game is over when it's not over. Look at this now. I got to play defense. 1:52 to go. Still play 2. I know it doesn't. I hate that. Ed scared the hell out of me. I was up 17 points with 3.5 minutes left. One best David Moore. Defense double teaming elsewhere, but he had 2 men back there. Incomplete. And let's check in with our good friend Michael Reeves. Cleveland Browns struggling. Just lost a game against a team that wasn't that great in the standings to really waylay any playoff hopes. I mean, you can still run the table. Cleveland is now 4-7. That's always tough. And they lost. Oh, they got handled by Arizona, Kurt. And with the Green Bay games, I was thinking of 17-13 against Green Bay. 2 teams that were mid-level fighting to be in that 8-8, 9-7 area. And they got no. Michael didn't get hammered by Arizona. My apologies, Michael. That was Cincinnati getting hammered by Arizona. But yeah, I think the Green Bay game was the one that said, Michael lost all these overtime games, then lost 17-13 to Green Bay. I was like, get back to regular action. It shows what you think of Keith's chances, even though he's only down 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 3, Emma right to come out from the 3 wide again. I bet you get a white die 1. What do you think? Nope. 8 is 12 yards of the defense's guard. If that's a 2, a 4, or 6, he gets out of bounds. He'll be at the Seattle 29. Got a white die 6. He is out of bounds. So 1st and 10 for Keith at the Seattle 29. I guess I should pay attention now before I say hello to Michael again. 90 seconds to go. Short pass, Julio Jones. Foreman in the zone. Haven't seen an interception, and we're going to see a sack and maybe a fumble. Seattle's recovered the loose ball. Just love to return these, but probably just fall on it here in this situation. Here is sacked by Danico Autry again. A tough game for Rodney Hudson. 7-9, 1-7 sack. But we throw it a lot, It's 1-7 in this play, but, that multiplies by X number of plays. That was on this matchup anyway, but 3 of the matchups had no chance of a sack because Dennis has not been blitzing heavily since he has had this big lead in the late fourth quarter. And Dennis is going to take a knee here. Looks to take several knees. Like Keith exhausts his timeouts. He only had 2. So let's see. Knee here gets a 108. So Dennis might be punting with like 38 seconds left or something. There's no 38 tick. 35 seconds left, 37 seconds. I think there's a 37-second tick. Short pass to Doug Waldman, incomplete. Keith gets to save a timeout. Thank you, Dennis. That's like me with Brandon Whedon in the playoffs against John Madden. It's me for Dennis. You may recall. 3rd and 11. And you want to punt it out of bounds because Jakeem Grant. Dennis knows that. But he's still going to 1-6 chance at every turn. Now, did Dennis try to throw a pass here again? Short pass to Benjamin. Gets wrong. Incomplete again. So Dennis takes about 15 seconds off the clock while forcing Keith to only use. He punts it away to Jakeem Grant. What are you doing? You got to punt that out of bounds, Dennis. Dennis is worried about his work day. He's falling asleep at the wheel here. Oh, he's lucky Jakeem Grant didn't get to return that. Oh my goodness, Mr. Crowley. Stop clicking on Seahawks highlights over there. Get your head back in the game. I know it's almost over. Boy. Diamond 3 just kicked it away to Jakeem Grant. The touchdown at 3. You only have 2 touchdowns. Now, a long pass Julio Jones. There's another sack for Rivers. Rivers in Indianapolis. I think that's going to be interesting. You know, I think it makes sense. It's kind of a good fit. He kind of is like an Andrew Luck type of quarterback in a lot of ways, you know. I mean, he's not mobile, but I don't know. They look good in the Rodney Hudson got sacked again. Rodney Hudson missed the block again. Maybe it's time to trade him. It could be a soft rebuild. Could be a youth-oriented approach for my SOMIFA club. Could be Rodney Hudson on the trading block. Julio Jones is definitely gone. It's definitely on the trading block. I'm gonna say he's gone, but I'm going to trade Julio Jones, maybe Cooper Kupp, maybe Zach Ertz, maybe Rodney Hudson, maybe Melvin Ingram. I'll probably keep Rodney. I need the run blocking, right, Zeb? But Julio Jones, Zach Ertz, Melvin Ingram, heading those guys out. Got to get some youth in this team. Got to get them going. We're not going to go terribly far this year with Sam Darnold and Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, even with the great McCaffrey in the backfield. One pass, Kenny Galladay, 2 men there. 45 seconds left. Incomplete. Sets up 3rd and 16. Keep that as zone 7. Dennis wants that safety. Gets him to 40 points. Enjoys the sack. We all enjoy the sack when we're on defense, especially when you start getting quite a few of them. The sack is like that. It's like the more you get, the more you want. I got like 3 or 4 sacks. Oh, I want another one. I want another 1 or 2. Give me a 5 or 6 or 7. That's when you get excited. Well, I bet they want Dennis blitzing on the outside, of course. As I said, 12 incomplete on the defense's card. 4th and 16. He's not shy. Michael Reeves, a stay-at-home order driving him nuts. I hear you, Michael. It's what we've had to do. I think we'll slowly be coming out of that soon. We need an antibodies test. Long pass to Jordan Reed. 2 men back there. Incomplete. Dennis to take over at downs and presumably take a knee. Although, if he was coaching against one of my rebuilding teams and the score was closer than he would like, he would try to score here, which he did to me twice. My rebuilding clubs, Mr. Crowley, if you're listening at this late juncture. I think he was beating by like 9 points. He was annoyed because my team was terrible. One of my like 1 in 15 jobs. So he got the ball back like a minute and a half left and decided to drive for a touchdown so the score could be more representative of the strength of the teams. I remember these things. Got a long memory. Just ask DeAndre Hopkins. So there you have it. Dennis Crowley, 38-24. I can't see this team going 16-0, Dennis Crowley said. But can you see him going 5-0? because they're 11-0. You can't see them go 16-0, but you are seeing them 11-0. All you do is beat Ed. If you beat Ed, then the door is wide open. And of course, beating Ed easier said than done. But if you beat Ed, the door is wide open. Because you got Bradley Miller's good, 7-5, former SSFA champion. But the rest of these clubs in the fourth quarter, one of them is rebuilding. The other two are kind of, struggling a little bit. The door's wide open. Anyone can lose one Strat-O game. It's hard to win 5 Strat-O games in a row. And Dennis' team is pretty good, but it's not, by even my own estimation, it's not like a great team. It's not a team you look at it like, oh my God, this team is loaded. Not like my SSFA team, which of course I started out 1-3 with. But not loaded. But they got the coaching there, the decision making there. So we'll see what happens. 11-0. Plays that. Maybe I got a chance to Brooklyn. That one we'll see. I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to go on with the rest of my day. Have a good day. This wasn't too bad to call. Got out of the way. Adios.